Today we're looking at the Hornby TT Class 50. This class was designed and built in the late 1960s, and these were the first locomotives to be delivered in the BR blue livery. The Class 50 was designed to haul express passenger trains and were initially used on the West Coast mainline route up to Scotland. So here's the model. This one is number 50040 Leviathan in the 1980s large logo livery. The model comes in the usual Hornby box with plastic insert. You get an information leaflet with maintenance and DCC fitting instructions, as well as instructions on how to fit the detail parts. And those detail parts are in a small bag, and you get a nice set of etched nameplates, as well as the snow plows and various air hoses and dummy couplers. These parts are absolutely tiny, so it'll be a challenge to fit. The locomotives are protected by a thin plastic sheet to prevent paint rubbing, and as usual from Hornby, it's absolutely gorgeous, with really fine detailing, including a lot of separate parts and underframe detail, and an etched fan grille with non-functional fan visible behind it. The roof has lots of detail and will be enhanced by a bit of weathering. The chassis shows loads of detail, even the inboard air tanks are moulded as separate parts. You can also see my model has a bit of excess lubrication with oil stains under the bogies. So on the turntable you can really appreciate the details in this model. It's got separate handrails, flush glazing and various pipes and fittings along the frame. The cabs have interiors and separate windscreen wipers, MU cables and even cab end ladders. The side vents are nicely recessed. The bogies are beautifully modelled, and these will no doubt be reused on the upcoming Class 37 and 47 models. And what this side view does show is that the model sits a bit higher on the bogies to allow clearance for radius 2 corners. On the track, you can see that extra height means the loco body and buffers are about 3mm higher than the coaches. It's not a huge deal, but it is noticeable if you get down to track level. One compromise might be to add washers to the coach bogies to raise them so that the difference is minimised. The loco pulls well. It's got a die-cast chassis and weighs 195 grams, so it's got plenty of pulling power. Performs well on radius 2 curves, which is of course the reason for that extra clearance on the ride height. Obviously with such tight corners and such a long locomotive, you do get a fair amount of overhang. Personally, I'd keep it to radius 3 and above. The loco has both headlights and tail lights that automatically adjust the direction of travel. This one's running in DC, but there is a DCC sound version available as well. So, that's the Hornby TT3014 Class 50, the first mainline diesel in the Hornby TT range. Thanks for watching. See you next time.